shield your kids from it.
Right.
You don't want your kids to know what y'all did to those niggas back in the day.
That's right.
You don't want them to know. She looks like, when she heard the N-word,
right.
she go back to her childhood.
Yeah.
Back when it was okay to just let the word nigga fly.
Dixie.
You understand? And listen, she can't get the smile off her face.
Right.
Like a goddamn white shark.
Right.
You can't get the smile. They should call you smirk.
Right.
Because the man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. I'm not talking about Satan. I'm not talking about some angel or some place in hell with some red man that you go after you die. I'm not talking about that. If you think hell is someplace you go after you die, then what the hell is going on right now?
We should be falling up on the Lord's custom instead of America's custom.
Hey, for life, if I could, what this brother's saying right now is so on point about America's customs. Drop the hold what you got right there and give me Psalms 55 and 20. I want to tell you something about America's customs and their way of life, right? They just gave black people a new holiday. They call it Juneteenth. Juneteenth is a peculiar holiday because it's only celebrated in Texas at one point, which symbolizes the day that the slaves were freed in Texas. But America has now made it a national holiday, and if you work in a federal building, well, you get the day off. Right. Now, a day they used to commemorate the end of slavery for black people, now it's been turned into a celebration of freedom for everybody across the globe. The man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Read that verse real quick.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 20. He has put forth his hands against such as to be at peace with him.
He did what? Read it again.
He has put forth his hands against such as to be at peace with him.
So now you look at it like this. Okay, we gave y'all Juneteenth. Yeah, America gave us Juneteenth. They gave us a day to celebrate our freedom from slavery, right? And it's a paid day off now. You understand? So now you're thinking, oh, well, America ain't so bad. Look at what the white man did for us. He gave us a paid holiday. Now everybody gets to honor Juneteenth. Read the next part.
He has broken his covenant.
He had did what?
Broken his covenant.
Because now it's not Juneteenth, the celebration of the end of slavery, because that's what Juneteenth was about. Right. Juneteenth was a holiday that was supposed to be a black eye in America's face. Right. They should look themselves in the mirror, see that black eye, and know Juneteenth was the celebration of the end of the most cruel form of slavery mankind has ever known.
That's right.
We stole a people from a continent, changed their lives, changed their way of life, changed their language, changed their religion, changed how they dealt with one another. You did that. Put them in slavery and killed everyone who didn't want to do it.
Right.
Read what you got again.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 20. He has put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
So now you think that Juneteenth now is like a peace offering. Oh, well, you know, we're giving you this Juneteenth holiday, and it's going to commemorate, you know, the things that black people went through, you know, like slavery, right?
Right.
But now, give it 3 years. Juneteenth won't even be black anymore.
Right.
And you know whose the fault is it? It's black people's fault.
That's
it's
right.
our fault. Because every so-called cool white person, you want to invite them to the cookout. Every last one of them. Let me tell you something. If our ancestors was here celebrating Juneteenth, white people would not be comfortable celebrating it with us.
Right.
You got white people celebrating Juneteenth. What are you celebrating it for? The global freedom? Freedom from who? You the ones had us in chains.
That's right.
White people ain't have black people in chains. White Americans enslaved black people for 400 years. And then you give us a holiday to remember it. We thought that was a good gesture. I mean, it sounds nice. You get a holiday, a paid day at work. Oh, wait a minute. You still have to go to work on Juneteenth.
Right.
But your boss got it off. So essentially the white man gave yourself a 4-day weekend at your expense. And guess what? He didn't have to go on the slave ships to get it. He reads.
He has broken his covenant. Chapter, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
The words of what?
His mouth was smoother than butter.
You thought Juneteenth was, we finally made it. the world is gonna understand and know the horrible things that America did to black people.
Right.
That's what you thought Juneteenth was gonna do. And you know what? That's what it should have been. Juneteenth should have been the day that America stood still and recognized how cruel it's been to black people.
Right.
How cruel it's been to our Mexican brothers. How cruel it's been to our Native American brothers.
That's right.
what Juneteenth is supposed to be.
That's
So
right.
now Juneteenth is a celebration of global freedom everywhere.
Good night.
Oh my God, okay. So wait. They're gonna celebrate Juneteenth in France?
Right.
What the hell are they getting free from?
Right.
What oppression did they serve?
Right.
Black people in America, it's your fault for not standing up against this.
Right.
Let me show you how you make Juneteenth a real holiday. If y'all know anything about the history of Juneteenth, again, it's the celebration of the day that black people were freed from slavery. If you want to properly, and I mean American, I want y'all to listen to me. If you really want black people to really have a Juneteenth, all white people must work on their holiday.
Right.
If all white people worked on Juneteenth, I'll celebrate it. What goddamn sense does it make when I'm off for Juneteenth and my oppressor's off? Who holiday does it belong to?
Right.
When was the oppressor in slavery?
Right.
I mean, what sense does that make? Read that scripture again.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 20. He hath put forth his hand.
21.
Verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Smoother than butter. I mean, brother, they came up there and told you, look, we already know it's a holiday. We're gonna make it a national federal holiday. So now you got people in New York celebrating Juneteenth and they don't know what the hell it is.
Right.
Because slavery in the northern states was unlawful.
Right.
So they don't know what the hell Juneteenth is.
Right.
They look at Juneteenth as no different than Cinco de Mayo.
Right.
It's just a day that they just walking around and don't have to go to work.
Right.
But what it should have been was a constant reminder of how cruel this place has been to black people.
That's
Let me
right.
tell you something, if it wasn't for white people so afraid of telling their kids the truth, Juneteenth would really be celebrated right.
Right.
You know, they struck down that critical race theory.
That's right.
Oh, brother, we don't want that. We don't want our kids to know what America was really like
Right.
for so-called blacks and Hispanics. And listen, I agree with you. I don't think they should teach critical race theory because we don't need to teach white people what white people have done to black people.
Right.
We need to make sure black people know what they've done.
Right.
That's what we need to do. We Mexicans need to know what white people have done to Mexicans. We don't have to teach white people that.
That's
they
right.
know. 3,000 people died in 9/11?
Right.
How many Afghans were murdered? How many Afghans was murdered because of 9/11?
Right.
That's real justice.
That's
They
right.
give you Juneteenth. Read it again.
Verse 21, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. But war was in his heart.
But what was in his heart?
War was in his
You
heart.
can never take anything from this oppressor. You have to take it all with a grain of salt.
Right.
Because nothing they're going to give you is going to benefit you.
That's
so
right.
now, you work some dead-end job, right? Some measly 40 hours a week. You might be making $20 an hour. Might be. You know what? You know that's still under $40,000 a year?
Right.
You making $20 an hour and it's barely touching $40,000. And here comes Juneteenth. And you get to wondering about all the black people and all your brothers and sisters who were tossed over the goddamn ships and into the water, into the Atlantic, right? Didn't even set foot on this place. They were murdered at sea. They were murdered. And you look at that day and say, you know what? I'm gonna have this day off. And I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna get my kids around and we're gonna talk about what our ancestors went through. Come to find out, you still have to work on Juneteenth.
Right.
So are you free? Black man, Hispanic man, are you free?
Right.
Native American man, listen, you think these holidays are for you, but they are not. They just use you as a way to put themselves forward. You got something to read from y'all? Read what he got.
The greatest atrocity recorded in the annals of human history is without question the transatlantic slave trade.
It's the what?
Right.
The transatlantic slave trade.
What book are you reading now? Show them the book. What book is this?
The Into Egypt again with ships.
Yeah, this book is called Into Egypt again with ships.
Right.
Let me tell you something, black man, we're gonna tell you your history. We're gonna make sure America keeps that black eye on their face.
Right.
Because they deserve it. You don't get to walk around, give us Juneteenth, and now put makeup on your face.
Damn.
Oh, you can't do that. You gotta expose that black eye. You gotta look like a goddamn raccoon out here.
Right.
That's not the only black eye you got. You've done the same thing with the Mexicans. You've done the same thing with the Native Americans.
Right.
You should have 2 black eyes, a broke nose, and a bloody lip.
That's
you
right.
should walk around looking just like that, so everybody knows the crimes you have committed against these people that were here before your ancestors were here.
That's right.
Everybody has an origin.
That's right.
The white man's origin is not the land of America.
That's right.
It's not. He goes back to the goddamn European, even before that. But we're going to say the Europeans right now. They came over here seeking what? They sought religious freedom and they ran from oppression. But they snatched up niggas, oppressed them, and took their religion.
Right.
The man is the devil.
Right.
Read it one more time.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than
The
butter.
words of that white man's mouth was smoother than butter because you believed him.
Right.
You believe integration was your way to equality.
Right.
You believe that. And what happened? What did you get? You got the short end of the stick.
Right.
They preamble says this. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal.
Right.
And you believe that. But when they wrote that, you were a goddamn slave.
That's right.
You were a slave. And Juneteenth was the celebration of you ending that slavery.
Right.
Now, they've commercialized it.
Right.
It's no longer a black eye for America. Juneteenth now is the global celebration of freedom.
Monday, let's lift every voice and celebrate a CNN concert event with Nelly, David O, Chloe Bailey, Kirk Franklin, Coyle Ray, Miguel, Jodeci, with a special appearance by Vice President Kamala Harris, and so much more. Juneteenth, a global celebration for freedom, live from the
Harmonic. Renee Williams-Niles joins us with more on Juneteenth, a global celebration of freedom. So grateful.
We're the most unique country in America, in the world. Other countries are founded based on faith, on ethnicity, on other things, religion. But we are founded on an idea, unlike any other country in the world. And we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. While we never fully lived up to that promise,
The global celebration of freedom. But I don't think the globe went through this. Read what you got again. Read what you saw.
The greatest atrocity recorded in the annals of human history.
Wait. Read that again.
The greatest atrocity recorded in the annals of human history.
So we're talking about the greatest atrocity ever committed. Keep reading.
Is without question.
Without what?
Without question.
Meaning without a doubt. Keep reading.
The transatlantic slave trade.
No.
The transatlantic slave trade.
You sure it's not the Holocaust?
The transatlantic slave trade.
That's right.
The transatlantic slave
Oh,
trade.
what about Pearl Harbor?
The transatlantic slave
Now,
trade.
somebody tell me the transatlantic slave trade is what? Read it from the top.
The greatest atrocity recorded in the annals of human history.
That's
Greatest
right.
atrocity recorded in human history is what?
The transatlantic slave trade.
Now, and then we got Juneteenth to commemorate the abolishment of the what?
The transatlantic slave trade.
And that's what it's supposed to be for.
Right.
But right now, what do they call it? They call it the global celebration of freedom.
Dang, bro.
They say it's the global celebration of freedom.
Right.
But I didn't see the globe in slaves.
Right.
I didn't see the globe on slave ships.
Right.
I didn't see the globe during Jim Crow.
That's right.
I didn't see the globe during integration. I don't see that.
Right.
I see that happen to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
That's right.
And here's the problem. Y'all want to shield your kids from it.
Right.
You don't want your kids to know what y'all did to those niggas back in the day.
That's right.
You don't want them to know. She looks like when she heard the N-word,
Right.
took her back to her childhood.
Yeah.
Back when it was okay to just let the word nigga fly.
Dixie.
You understand? And listen, she can't get the smile off her face.
Right.
Like a goddamn white shark.
Right.
You can't get the smile. They should call you smirk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. I'm not talking about Satan. I'm not talking about some angel or some place in hell with some red man that you go after you die. I'm not talking about that. If you think hell is someplace you go after you die, then what the hell is going on right now? What is going on right now? All these mothers came together because they've all lost their son through gun violence.
Young men, we want you to know that this is not somewhere you want to put your mother. When our son died, we died. And please, this isn't somewhere that you want to put your mother. Mother, we want you to talk to your son because I promise you, I have 170 women in the support group right now. And it's constantly going up. And I promise you, young men and women, this isn't somewhere you want to be.
They've all buried somebody that they brought into the earth. And you gonna tell me that this ain't hell? This ain't right here? Read what you got again.
This is the book of...
Yeah, read from the top.
The greatest atrocity recorded in the annals of human history is without question the transatlantic slave trade.
Let me tell you something. The transatlantic slave trade happened while people were alive. They didn't have to die to go on slave ships. So guess what? When it's your turn to go on slave ships, you won't be dead either. Your hell is gonna be right here on earth, the same way blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans' hell is today.
That's right.
If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood